Hey guys, welcome to the Slush Winglet. Today I am doing a tutorial on how to draw a dragon as per request of Peril. I will link her in the description. Also, thank you for suggesting this. So, first of all, I use Ibis Paint, and I'm actually saving up to get Procreate, as I have to get an iPad for it. But, so first, you just pick a color for your dragon. I'm gonna do Slush because she's my main character. So then you kind of draw a rough outline of your dragon, and it does not have to be perfect. You can redo it as many times as you need. I don't know how much time I spend on just backspacing or erasing. So then you color it in, and sometimes take longer than others. And you want to make sure you have the horn shape correct. And of course, you don't have to color it in the colors you want in the in the end product. You can recolor it later. So you keep having to change the size of the brush as well so that you're not too thick or too thin in certain areas. So after you get the basic head shape done, I'm gonna have to fix this horn in a minute. Then you kind of, hang on, I need to fix this too. After you get the head shape done, I do an extra layer and put it underneath, and I will make the color lighter and draw the neck part next. A lot of times I just do the head and neck because I am not good at drawing legs. So that's what I do. And then you kind of color that in as well. Now, you have to go back and shade so that it doesn't blend in together. And I'll be doing that in just a moment. You do a darker color and put it right outlining all the parts here. And you'll want to do it all the way around, even though a lot of shading you would do only on the underneath side, but you need to be able to see it. I like to use alpha lock a lot of times so that I don't go out of the lines, but of course you don't have to do that if you're good at staying in the lines and stuff. A lot of times I have to redo it and redo it again so that I get the right thickness everywhere instead of bumpy like it is right now. So then I just put the color back on like that, and now it's time for coloring this part in, which I probably should have done before I did that, so I'm going to do another layer and then just add it together in a second. Which is a nice thing you can do with Ibis Paint. You can just make layers and then put them all together. I love that. Now, you don't have to have any sort of special stylus or anything. I just use one from the dollar store, actually. Now, some are better than others. One of them I have does not work well. So, you want to find the one that's best fit for you. So, once I got that done, you can just do that and merge them together. Now I'm just going to recolor the horn because it doesn't look very good. Alpha lock again. I love alpha lock. It's so helpful. Now for the eyes, I like to do a base color, and I will just like go like that, and it does not have to be the right shape or anything. You can fix that later. And then I will take the color and make it slightly darker so it's shaded, but you don't want to do black unless you're actually doing line art, which I'm not a huge fan of line art now that I've figured out how to not do line art. So then you'll just kind of draw around the eye. If you want to give it extra shape, you can do that if you want. Usually I don't do that on Slush because she isn't very feminine, but I will do that on my OCs Fennec and Abyss. Then for the pupil, I do it black usually because it's the color pupils. And I like to do it very sharp because they're dragons. Now, if you didn't know this before, Slush is half Icewing, half Seawing. And that's because they're my two favorite tribes. Fun fact, I never I didn't actually like Seawings until the last time I read the book series. I always thought they were just kind of funny. And with the mouth, I always have to try over and over to get it correct. Alright, I'm happy with it there. And all characters will have a different design unless you're copying someone, which is not a good thing to do. So, you can do it how your character is. I just do my character design, which is this. So yeah. And I just keep shading here and there when needed. I'm gonna have to fix this. I have to fix it over and over again. I am not good at doing things just freehand without any going back and fixing it. Not happy with the fatness of that, so I'm gonna color it in better with this. That should work. I probably should have recalled what number I was at. That looks about right. I have a hard time drawing the scales. Come to think of it, I probably should have done these scales on a different layer so I could color underneath. I'm going to go back and do that. I'm honestly just going to redo the shading later. It did not turn out good. I'm always accidentally hitting the undo button. But that's alright, because there's a redo button. Coloring in the scales is honestly so satisfying sometimes. Oh, wrong layer again. A lot of times I have trouble actually getting the middle scales correct, so I will draw a line on a different layer. And go back to the layer that I'm working on, just so that I have a midpoint to connect it. Oop, that's not what I meant to do. Now for the little glowy parts. I love this part of a dragon. It's so cool, and I honestly think that would be such a neat thing to have. Now to actually coloring the glow scales. I always try to have like a bioluminescent kind of color. Sometimes I fail with that. I just realized I shouldn't be doing that as line art with the line art, so I'm just gonna delete all of that. I'm still in the habit of doing line art because that's what I was originally doing. It honestly looks so cool without line art though. Another thing I like to do with the scales, but only sometimes when I'm feeling like it, is sometimes I'll go in and blur them because it looks kind of really neat. So you can choose to do that or not do that if you're doing a sea wing. I just think it's fun. Now the hard part about that is over here with this part being in the same layer. I probably should have thought of that, but I didn't. With the triangles, it kind of looks like Iron Man. Alright, that part is done. Now I'm gonna go on to doing the frill. I don't know what you call it, but I call it frill, so I like to do it thin. That way it's kind of like a whip thin tip. And I try not to do it too long, but not too short either. And then I just kind of make it thicker at the bottom, but not that thick. Getting the thickness right is probably one of the hardest part about the frill. Then you just color it in like the rest of the stuff. You can go back and erase little bits if you need, which I'm always needing to erase stuff. I'm not good at doing it, like I said, freehand and stuff. You can do as few or as many frills as you want because all sea wings can be different and all art styles are different. I feel like it's very fun to do the frill though. I like to do it very frilly frill, which is why it's so big. I used to do it very small, but now I do it big. I first read the Wings of Fire series when I was 10. Now, I still like it, even though I'm probably technically too old for it, but I do not care. Also, what do you guys think about me making a human character, or scavenger rather? I've been contemplating it for a while, but I'm no good at drawing humans, so I don't know. So then I will do yet another layer. Layers are awesome. To do the mid-seam, whatever you want to call it. Webs. I don't know. I don't even know what you would call this. So that's for the frill. Now I'm gonna go back and fix the shading because it does not look good in my opinion. So I'll just go back and color it Actually, I will just color over it and then fix what needs to be fixed with an eraser. I also like to go in and blur this when I'm done, because it makes it look a lot more shaded, actually, when you blur it. I'm not going to completely get rid of it because, like, it's okay if there's a little bit of darkness in the blur. When did that happen? Alright, now for the blur. I think that looks good. I will probably put a little bit of blur right here. Oh, I'm wondering why it's not working. Of course, I'm on the wrong layer. No, not right there. I also like to blur the bottom edge of the mouth, because it kind of gives a shaded look. And I like to blur the nostril. But it's not working out today, so hang on, let me see if I can get it around the edges. It's kind of working funky today. Alright, so basically that's it. That's how I do dragons without line art. And now my favorite thing to do is I will make a background. I just use a random color. Purple usually looks pretty cool behind it. And you know what? I keep forgetting on Slush. I'm always forgetting this part. Gotta make alpha lock. Gotta make this stuff. Now, these always look different for me. Sometimes they're long and frilly like this. Sometimes they just look like this. But I chose this today. Sometimes there's 3, sometimes there's 7. Alright, so that's basically it. Thank you for watching.